Marcus 29-12 on the season. And while
Say what?
While we're maybe overstating Michigan sign stealing scandal, we're definitely not overstating how significant it is to be 29-12 against.
This is against the spread, people.
That is
Against the
nuts.
spread, over-unders, like all of that is included. 29-12. Yes, you heard that right. 29 wins, 12 losses, 8-0 in my last 2 weeks. I mean, I have never been hotter than this in my life. I'm going to brag about it. And if I were you, I would follow me into the glory because it is pretty nice watching these games and just being like, damn, did I go perfect again? Like, I'm literally texting John, like, hey, look, I'm looking back at the episode, like, I think I picked all 4 of these games correctly again.
Yep. It's crazy. And so.
And your record's not bad, John, by the way.
It's
just
not, but it's in coin flip territory, and I'd like to be in, statistically significant. I'm actually doing something right territory. So we'll hopefully get there. Maybe this is the week where that happens. Teams on bye this week. We have the Rams, we have Kansas City, we have the Dolphins, we have the Eagles. So, 3 really talented, fun to watch teams are on bye this week. And then, of course, we have Josh McDaniels, who's definitely on bye this week because the Raiders. And Mark, I did warn about this in the last episode. What happens when teams fire a toxic coach midseason?
You did.
They come out.
Weird motivation comes out to play.
Yep.
You did.
Yep.
You did say that. You did call that. Anyone that feels bad for the guy shouldn't. The guy's gonna get paid for the next 4 years of his contract. Still, he could do effectively nothing, and he could go to Turks and Caicos, do whatever he wants to do. He's making a shit ton of money for the next 4 years for doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when people are like, oh, like think about their family, like you still got to feel bad. He's still a human at the end of the day. It's like, yeah, I do, and like when that happens to college coaches, I feel a little bit more bad because they don't have a.
Some of them still get buyouts.
I was about to say, and some of them still actually get.
Most of them actually, if you're big enough.
Yeah, but NFL coaches, nah, man, they are riding into the sunset if they get fired before their contract is up. So, it is what it is, and honestly, I can't think of anything better than being a fired NFL coach if you're, kind of just ready to sit on your bag and, like you said, go to Turks and Caicos or something. All right, first game here, Panthers-Bears. We already talked about it. So, Mark, just straight up, what's your pick?
It's the Bears.
Bears -3.5.
Bears to cover the -3.5. I obviously am not putting that shitty game in my best bets. I'm not a maniac. But yeah.
Next, we got Titans, and we got the Bucks. Titans are starting Will Levis. Tannehill, I don't know if he's healthy or not, but either way, he is on the bench for this game. And the Bucks are getting a single point. So essentially an even game. Who do you got?
I really like underdogs at home. I really like Baker Mayfield at home. Baker and the Bucks got robbed. Their offense got robbed against the Texans. They drove down the field, scored last week. He should have had a game winner on it under his belt, and C.J. Stroud stole it from him. The Bucks are playing good ball. Their defense blows right now. And the one thing here's my concern with the Bucks. Right, the Titans want to run the ball. The Bucks have a good run defense. It's going to put all the pressure on Levis to have success.
Who threw 3 touchdowns to Hopkins?
He did. Right. But he didn't look fantastic against Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Bucks and put them in my best bets.
Bucks, best bets.
Home underdogs, I really like, and I just like the fact that it's going to come down to Levis has to do something to beat him, and I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that, but no best bets for me. All right, Germany game. So, we started off with, just a beautiful matchup. You have KC, Dolphins in Germany. Crazy. And now you're getting the Walmart version of that. You're getting the Colts and the Pats. I should have put a little tank on top of the bratwurst or whatever we got there to show the Germany game. Colts are favored by 1.5 points. I think I like the Colts better here, but this sure as hell is not going in my best bets, and I'm probably not going to watch this game.
I appreciate the honesty, John.
Actually, it's in Europe. It's the only football on, so I'll probably watch it.
You probably will watch it. You can't help yourself. Football junkies here for sure, no doubt about that. When America goes against Germany in anything, and technically we're in Germany supporting Germany here, but when you go to Germany, we win world wars. So I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, That's something for sure. Um, I
There's
was thinking
no reason besides that because the
but
Patriots
just
stink.
America, Patriot.
Yeah, the Patriots
Right.
stink. They blow ass, but I'm putting them not in my best bets, but I am putting them to win this game.
All right, we got Texans at the Bengals. Bengals are 6.5 point favorite, which man, I kind of like that
Is
spread with the way
that's
that the Texans
pretty
are playing.
too good to be true type of thing though, John. That's what it's telling me.
Yeah.
I feel like Burrow assassinates the Texans. I feel like the Bengals destroy them, but also why is the spread only 6.5? It's baiting me.
Okay. Well, here's another important factor. Higgins and Chase both on the injury report right now.
How serious are the injuries? I feel like they're gonna play.
Chase is looking more like he's not going to play. Higgins was limited participation with a hamstring injury.
I'm still picking Cincinnati to
Okay.
cover. Joe Burrow is he's in a tear right now.
I like Cincy to cover. I just wanted to make sure you had all the information at your hand.
Tell me this:
So.
does Joe Burrow have a heartbeat this weekend? Okay,
I think he's got a pulse. I
if
think
he
the
has a
blood's flowing.
pulse, then that's my pick.
All right, cool. Saints at Vikings. Little Minneapolis Miracle rematch. No, I'll never let that go. I hate the Vikings for two reasons. Like that's both. It's usually rare that you like two teams and they hate the same team, which is the Vikings. Vikings are getting 2.5 points at home, so underdog. I don't know if I agree with
Another
that,
home dog.
dude. And honestly, I don't think I could, in my right mind, bet against the way that Dobbs has been playing. I mean, now he knows his offensive lineman's name. It's over.
Barely. I mean, he's going to be there for a week instead of
Yeah.
3 days. John, I mean, if you don't, I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to pressure you into something. If
Okay.
you don't put the Saints in your best bets, you do not believe in your own team. I'll tell you that
I
much.
don't, right? Their offense the past 2 weeks has found something, and I am very stoked on that.
I
And their
mean,
defense
Josh
has been playing
Dobbs
lights
doesn't
out.
know his team, and the Vikings defense still hasn't figured it
Look
out.
what
I
he
mean,
did to the
everyone's
Falcons.
scoring on.
You know what?
Yeah,
I will
I
have the
know.
Saints in here. You'll get me because of the fact that I still don't trust the Saints offense truly, but I think the Saints defense will be able to contain Josh Dobbs and
Yeah,
whatever the heck's going on.
I'm trying to give you a pick here because I would normally do that, but I'm gonna give you the chance to catch up a little bit here. I'm
Sounds good.
gonna
I
let you keep the
appreciate that,
Saints.
Mark.
Yeah,
Um, who do you have to win this game?
I
That's
would
probably
pick the
gonna
Saints as well, but
okay.
I'm not gonna put in my best bets.
Okay, Green Bay at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh -3. I mean that checks out. I think Pittsburgh will win this game. And
Pitts,
by the way, this is the type of shit where it's like this is why Tomlin ends up over 500 every single season because like their competition lately has not been great, and they have just squeaked away with wins. And now they have Green Bay visiting them at home.
I mean, they do play in a pretty damn tough division, John.
They do, which that's fair. And I think most of those games are down the stretch, though. What they played, I think the Browns, which they squeaked a win out there with Watson hurt.
Yeah.
Have they played Baltimore or the Bengals yet? I don't know if they have.
They beat Baltimore.
They beat Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you better be careful about talking about Mike Tomlin not beating good teams here because
all right,
that's what
fair.
he does. He beats
off.
teams that he shouldn't beat. I'm taking the Steelers. I love the Steelers. Put in my best bets. The Packers blow, and they have to go to Pittsburgh against that defense. TJ Watt, listen, man, he is going to assassinate Jordan Love.
I think I'm gonna join you on this one too because where I was going with that rant is that like, they make it through whatever games and now they're being gifted one, man. Like Green Bay I have to admit they are so much worse than I thought they were going to be this season. They are not good at all. I just think LaFleur is lost without Rodgers, and we've talked about this a few times, but that's where I'm at with it. This game is going to be a good one. You have juggernaut defense versus, I just think, honestly, one of the more complete teams in the NFL right now in the Ravens. I mean, they're playing great defense. They're playing great offense. Lamar's playing lights out right now. Baltimore is -6. Now, what I think is interesting here, yes, these are both great defensive teams, but they're also divisional rivals that know each other pretty well at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the over-under is 38.5. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but
you know why it's that low, John? Because the Browns defense is like record
really
good.
Really good. But these are divisional opponents that know each other. So
Which means even, are you thinking under?
I'm
Because
honestly
usually
thinking
teams
over.
score less when they know each other.
My guts. Maybe I'll leave it. I'll
38 and a
think about
half's
it.
low.
That's low. That's what I don't know, man. I feel like I want to take the over on this. I'll let it. I have catching up to do. So if I'm sitting here and thinking about this too much, I should probably just leave it alone. I need to go in with
I think you
confidence.
got to be aggressive, John, to catch my ass. I'll tell you that. But
We'll think about it.
whatever floats your boat here. I like the Browns +6, because I think they're just gonna bottle Lamar up a little bit better than anyone else has been doing. And I mean, I don't know if they win the game. Probably not, but they cover 6. I mean, this is an in-division game. It's going to be relatively close. Deshaun Watson's going to play a little bit better than he has, I think. The Ravens should win this game, but I don't think they cover 6.
Okay. We got San Fran at Jags. Another time, Jags are a home underdog here by 3, and they're playing really good football right now. I do not
Yeah,
know if Trent Williams is back yet, but they do have Debo back, so their offense
they
is
do.
almost back to being complete.
Oh man, this is.
It's a toughie.
The Jags are flirting with being that top team in the AFC, honestly, and we did preseason say that they could be the one seed in the AFC. Check the receipts if you don't believe us. But the 49ers can't lose 4 straight, John. They can't lose 4 straight. They're too good of a team. They're coming off of a bye. They're getting Debo back. You give Shanahan that much time to prepare for a team that has lost 3 straight games, right? Like,
Yeah,
you can't go
they're
into
mad.
Jacksonville and lose. You
They're
cannot do
mad
it.
right now. Yeah,
So give me the 49ers, best bet.
49ers best bet. And I
Can't
agree.
lose.
I mean, this
You
is I
can't
was
lose
about to
that
say
game.
this is kind of a must win for this 49ers team.
I mean, it's
So
not, because they're still going to like be in first place in their division if they lose,
it's
but
it
they
isn't.
need to
It's
they need to
like
win.
I was gonna say, like streaks in the NFL matter a lot. To lose
Yeah.
4 straight at when you previously were, getting regarded
6
to
and
as a
0.
Super Bowl
They were 6 and
contender,
0. Yeah.
yeah, that's really rough. So,
By the way,
we'll
I
see what
still may
happens.
sprinkle a little Super Bowl money on the 49ers, because I very much so believe in them. A lot of things have
Definitely,
gone wrong these last
definitely,
few games, but yeah, believe that they're a team that's dangerous.
yeah, 100%, 100%. All
Lions
right,
Chargers, baby.
Lions Chargers. I like the Lions here. I mean, even at the Chargers, I just think I think again 2 weeks to prepare. Right, this does not strike me as a team that's going to come out sluggish after 2 weeks. This is the healthiest this Lions team has ever been. There is literally, other than their IR guys, there is nobody on their injury report. Right, I mean they're basically down C.J. Gardner Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, who's out for the season, and Houston. I mean, those are who they're missing from that starting, originally starting crew. I'm fired up about this game personally. I think the Chargers beating the Jets is giving them probably a false sense of confidence. Now they have to go up against a really good defense and a high-powered offense. So give me the Lions. I'm adding them to my best bets.
I couldn't disagree with you more, unfortunately.
Matchup, because that was the one thing that gave me pause.
Matchup
Matchup is
matchup
tough.
wise, I also completely disagree with how the Lions are going to come out in this bye week. I want to flash back to that Patriots shutout win over the Lions. We went into the bye week. I was screaming to fire Dan Campbell. Most Detroit fans were just beside themselves angry, and they came out and figured it out, and they won, like, I don't know, like their last 6 of the last 7 or something like that, right? And it carried into the next season.
I think they won or they lost one more after that Patriots game, if I'm remembering correctly. It's because
I don't think it
Patriots
was
going into the bye week injured as shit, basically. It was
right,
after.
right. But
Feels
we
bad.
came out of that bye week very, very much a different team.
Yep.
Now, I flash back to this year's bye week. We're full, right? We've had success. People are talking about us. We're contenders. You got people going on vacation, spending time golfing, going out to California, going out to Florida, going out to do whatever they want to do, spending time with families, not working out, studying extra film on a very dangerous Chargers team, not doing extra preparation, taking advantage of their bye week. This Lions team is going to be very different after this bye than they were after the bye when they sucked. And I think that carries into this game. The Chargers have a little bit of momentum. Justin Herbert matches up well against us. He's going to pick apart our secondary. Um, I just, I
They
think the
lost.
Lions will be able to run the ball and stay in this game.
I
But
gotta say this: the Lions lost to the Cowboys and lost to the Dolphins after their bye week last year. Still, so they still came out sluggish. I don't know, man.
I think they're going to be sluggish, man. I think they're going to be sluggish. The Chargers are a dangerous team. They just beat a very good Jets defense, and Herbert looked pretty good against them overall. And Eckler he's a matchup. You know what? Put the Chargers in my best bets. I hate to do this. Eckler is one of the best. He's one of the best backs out of the backfield catching the ball, and our backers suck in coverage. That is a huge weakness for Detroit. Our linebackers cannot cover tight ends, which they have some freak dudes like Jay Neverett at tight end, and then you have Eckler out of the backfield hitting those check down routes all day. So if you do drop everybody back deep because you're scared of Herbert's big arm, he's just going to pick you apart in the shallow game. And Anzalone's going to miss tackles, and he can't keep up with Eckler, and he can't keep up with these underneath routes that the Chargers do so much of. I think the Lions keep it close, though, because of their ability to run the ball. And I absolutely could still win this game, but I think the Chargers just like it's a tough matchup. And I don't know how many more games the Lions lose, but this is one of them. Sorry.
No, I mean it's one of the few that when I looked at the schedule before the season started, I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one, but I don't know,
Again,
man.
3-point underdog at home for LA. I know the Lions fans are going to fill that place up and turn it Honolulu blue instead of that powder blue, but like still.
Red flags, I get it.
Little best bet versus each other, John. I love it.
Yeah, it's rare that we do that too. So
It is rare. One must win.
Yes, and it'll probably be you with the way that you've been picking stuff. So, Falcons at Cardinals. Cardinals are only 1.5 against the spread. Getting that is, I understand like the logic behind them being a home underdog, but the Falcons have not been playing good football the past couple of weeks. They've kind of lost their plot a little bit, and on top of it, Cardinals are getting Kyler back. I don't know, man.
Is he playing this week?
Yep.
Confirmed.
Said, as long as there's no setbacks, is what they said. He will be playing this week. Yes. And so, to me, I'm thinking Cardinals actually have a good shot to win this game. So,
I'm thinking the Dirty Birds beat the Cardinals just because they have more. I mean, think about it, Kyler hasn't taken snaps with this team in quite some time. I highly doubt he's just going to come in and take over the game, like he's not. He even struggled when he was fully healthy. Like he's also, by the way, John, I want to just put this out there. You know what drops in 2 days?
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
What's the next one they're dropping? It's
like a Modern Warfare 2, kind of like they have like the old maps in there. But all I know
actually,
yeah, some of the old maps are in there. It's got like a new zombies thing in there because you're a zombies nerd.
You know how good I am at zombies. I haven't played it in years.
John literally like had a lower GPA in high school and middle school because of zombies. Like just chose to spend hours on that game. Anyways, John is much like Kyler Murray, and I probably anticipate that instead of doing some extra film prep and getting his body ready to play, he may have the sticks in his hand, playing a little COD. So
He's tired of it. He's tired of playing COD. He's back to playing football. Because
who are you? Are you joking me? Come on. Falcons.
I don't know.
Give me the Falcons. Not my best bets, but like if you were smart here, you would take the better bird. It's the Falcon.
The better bird. I like that. The best birds matchup. We got the Commanders. Drew was bitching about their colors when he was putting this together. I mean, it is just.
I kind of like the maroon and.
I can't do it. I can't get behind
when they were the Redskins. It was cool. Like I think it was.
Yeah, really. I think that's what it is. Is this team just doesn't have like a soul. Like there's nothing. to them.
Well, the Commanders and then to have those colors doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So.
Well, no, because they're the commies. That's why they have the Soviet red and yellow going. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean when you put it that way, I suppose. Seattle's going to win this game, John. Right?
Yeah, but are they going to win it by a touchdown?
See, I don't think they cover that.
Yeah, so
Sam Howell's been dialed in, man.
I was going to say I like Seattle to win. I don't like them to cover. I'm not putting this in my best bets either way. I don't think.
Could see a little bit of a shootout.
Could. but I don't even know if I'm banking on that.
45.5 is kind of high.
Well, here's my thing too. Both of these offensive lines stink. Now the Commanders lost like half their pass rush last week, but I digress. I think that both teams are going to be able to get to the quarterback decently.
Gino and the Seahawks are coming off a loss. I mean, I feel like this is like a big time to stay competing with the
Relevant.
Niners.
Yeah.
They have to.
100%. And then we got the biggest spread I think we've seen all season.
Yeah.
16.5 point favorites are the Dallas Cowboys with their little division rivals who are injured to absolute shit and have completely lost the plot this season. Sorry, Giants fans.
You
At
do remember us
Cowboys.
saying that in preseason, John, right? You remember, I think, me
Sure
and you
do.
both agreeing that the Giants were going to stink major ass this year because they got away with having a very light schedule last year.
Highly
And
fraudulent team. Yes.
yes. And coming to this year, we said, like, you're in trouble. And guess what? They were in serious trouble. Even if Daniel Jones was healthy, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
One of my starting DeVito.
One of my coworkers who I didn't even know followed football messaged me today, and he was just like, I think that we need to draft Caleb Williams or Drake May because Jones is like, I mean, now he's injured and
Jones stinks.
We're in probably a bad, cap hit, dead money
He
situation.
stinks. And I would also probably trade Saquon Barkley because
I think
let
you need
that
an
guy go
offensive
shine
line
somewhere else.
You need an offensive line and you need wide receivers. That's what you need more than anything else right now. And I don't know what you're going to do about Daniel Jones. I mean, that's my big question mark. So, to get back to this game in particular, I almost feel like I like the Cowboys to cover this.
Why almost? I do.
You do?
Anytime the spread is that big, dude, they're gonna cover.
Because just Cowboys win in cowboy fashion.
Cowboys
right?
are gonna, dude. Cowboys have beaten good teams by 40 this year.
Yeah, I think.
Let's think back to the first time they played the Giants, what the score was, and that was with all their pieces, Daniel Jones, all these receivers, like everybody was like they were fully still believing in themselves too, and they beat that Giants team to shit.
Yeah, wasn't that the
40-0? I think.
Yeah, and it was their first game of the year, if I'm remembering correctly, too. So,
I mean, come on, I think they're gonna cover that, man.
Yeah, I'm looking
in Dallas.
Right now. It was where the hell is it? I can't find it, but yeah, they blew them out. So
it was ugly.
It was very ugly. Are you adding them to the best bets or no?
No.
Okay. A little bit different this time around. We only have one matching one this time. We got Jets at Raiders. Raiders are getting a point, which surprises me based off the way that both teams played.
I think Raiders are +1.
+1. Or yeah, I said getting a point.
Oh yeah, you're getting a point. Yeah. I thought you meant favored by a point.
Yeah, we actually have pluses and minuses now rather than every team just having the favorite next to them. So gotta actually say getting or giving now.
Yeah, that confused me for a second. Sorry.
No, all good. Yeah, I don't know if the Jets are gonna come away with this one. I'm struggling, man, because the Jets are in that like must-win, keep playoff hopes alive territory, so that Rodgers could maybe come back. I'm not touching this one as far as best bets goes. I think the Raiders will cover. Put it that way. I think if they win, it's going to be or if they lose, the Jets are going to do it.
They're going to lose by one.
Skin on their teeth kind of situation. Yeah.
I mean, I'll take the Jets to win that game. I think that they're coming off of a loss. I think the league wants the Jets to be a playoff team, and this is a game they have to have.
They have to win it.
When we had Tyler Conklin on here, when they played the Broncos, he was just like, hey, we knew going into that was a game we had to have. And, you saw how they responded to that. There's a lot of doubt with Zach Wilson this week. There's a lot of talk about, the Jets fans always overreact. I mean, there were some of the most overreactive fans there ever have existed. I think they win this game, man. I think they win this game. I'm not going to put my best bets. I also just get really, really sad seeing the Jets in all these primetime slots that we've seen them in and just thinking about how sick that would have been if Aaron Rodgers never got hurt. And obviously that's why they're in these slots to begin with because, I mean, God.
And now we just get horrendously low-scoring games.
John, listen to me, man. They would be the best team in football had he not gotten hurt. Just so you know. There's no doubt in my mind. I see what's happening in the rest of the league. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets would be the best team in football had he not gotten hurt, and it makes me really sad. But it is what it is. The Jets get a win on Sunday Night Football. Two bad primetime games. We look ahead to the Monday night game. Broncos at Buffalo. Buffalo 7.5-point favorites. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think this is one of those games that Buffalo like wins by 2 scores or whatever, and everybody kind of has like a newfound resurgence of confidence in the Buffalo Bills' ability to play football.
So
Um,
you, one of the biggest Josh Allen haters, think that
what's
he
the same
turns it
thing,
back
right?
on?
I'm a Dallas Cowboys hater too, right? And I'll point out the games where I'm like, yeah, this is one that the Cowboys win by 3 scores, and that everybody thinks they're the best team in the NFL for a week, right? Like this kind of feels like that vibe to me, for whatever reason. So yes, I mean, and the Bills have struggled the past few weeks. They need to bounce back somewhere. This feels like a proper game for them to do that. So I do like the Bills to win. I'm probably not going to add anything into my best bets here, though.
All right, I would pick the Bills as well. Um, Madden curse, perhaps. I mean, there's really no explanation to how bad Josh Allen's been
It's been
playing.
very,
Really not.
very
It's really not even how bad he's playing. It's how inconsistent. Because there's been a couple games this year where he's looked as good as he ever has,
yeah.
and
But
then
then
there's been
the
games.
team as a whole, I just don't think is as
It's
good as they
like
used to be.
John. It stems back to the same goddamn problem that they've had every year. We addressed this in the offseason. We said, what will they do to fix their run game issue? They don't even try to run the ball. They don't have an established running
No,
game besides Josh Allen, like trying to make stuff happen with his legs at times. They do not decide to impose their will at any point ever.
and they need
And
one. They
they need
need
it to
one.
set up play action. They're doing Josh Allen like he's stepping back. They're playing 7-on-7 football, and everyone knows it's a pass every single play. And it's like that's too much to expect these receivers to get open at clips that they need them to get open, and to expect Josh Allen to make something happen on every single play. Like he'll make magic happen, 40% of the time, but you can't ask a guy to do that. Like give the guy a running game, let him get going, let him get comfortable, and then get better coverage matchups down the field. Set it up with true play action. Let that guy unleash the cannon that he has. But just to sling it every single play it's asinine, man. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked.
No, you're
And
setting yourself up to fail. And I do love the fact that football is kind of like whipsawing back on this direction of like, man, the good teams in this league
yeah.
have deadly run games.
You got to be able to run the ball to set up the pass and vice versa. And if you're one dimensional, whether it's only running or only pass, you're going to struggle. And God, man, I all the slander that he gets, I feel bad, honestly, because I mean, any quarterback in that situation is going to throw a lot of interceptions and have a lot of critical errors that look like it's his fault. And at the end of the day, it is. But you got to do something to help the guy, man. Like,
Hey, you got really upset when I said this a few weeks back, but
I know
there
what
was
to say.
the Matt Stafford comps, man. I mean, come on. They're right
Josh
there in
Allen
front of
has
you.
won a lot more games at this point in his career than Stafford had. He's had more playoff appearances. He's won playoff games. He's
But what I'm
definitely.
saying is that the Lions never really had a consistent run game with Stafford, and Stafford was forced to just sling it all the time,
Yeah.
and that put them
And they
in
were
tough
always
situations.
behind. That was the biggest thing. The Bills just choosing to not have a run game, so I
Right.
see that.
They
The
just wake up
Lions
one day and
had to
don't.
throw because they were always behind.
Right.
And I mean, they both have ridiculous arm talents, but I don't know. I think it's more comparable, honestly, like Marino.
Sure.
That's like, I
That's
mean, I know
fine.
Marino's one of the best of all time, but in terms of arm talent, in terms of
Yeah.
never getting it done, never having the help
I
that he
mean, I was
truly
going to
needed.
say Josh Allen might be one of those guys that retires and we go, wow, what an amazing player. It sucks he never got a ring, right? Like
It's looking
that's
like that, man. I mean, it's not easy to win a championship, and you sure as hell can't do it with your defense banged up and not having a running game.